This is a match bringing Bob Orton, the old babyface killer, together with Schmidt, the menace from Munich. This is a match both of them have wanted for a long time. I won't make any prediction as to what's going to happen here. Best 2 out of 3 falls. 60-minute time limit. And this one can be rough, so Tilly, bar the gate. For our Mr. Orton, aren't they, huh? 1, 2, 3. Oh, brother. If ever you saw anybody folded up in a hurry, you have just seen it. That is a fall. I'll almost make book on this that it's less than a minute. Let's find out.
The winner of the first fall in 35 seconds with a body slam and body Chris Schmidt.
Well, we didn't even have time to turn our commercials over on that one. First fall then goes to Schmidt over Bob Orton of Kansas City. This is a main event. Best 2 out of 3 falls. It may go down on record as one of the world's shortest wrestling matches if the rest of it is to go like this. Wowie. This guy Schmidt, you know, he was halfway across the ring before the bell rang. He was still in his own territory. But Orton didn't even get a chance to turn around. And Mr. Orton, needless to say, is a little bit mad. Get him back in the corner there, Fred, or we'll have a Donnybrook on our hands. The crowd doesn't like either of these men too much. Either. So what's the difference? Both of them are disliked. Just about the way a cat hates a Saturday night bath. The only 2 people that like these guys are their mothers. And I understand there's some doubt about that on Hans Schmidt's part. There we go. Dropped down to one knee here, trying to get a count started. Ooh. This is a pair of meanies put together here. Oh, that one boosted Mr. Schmidt clear out. Back in the ring at the count of 10. Gone in here for a waist lock. Bull Nelson. Schmidt thought maybe he'd have him, but no dice. Orton's a brash young kid. He had his back hurt not long ago. 6 discs in his lumbar region. He had to go into the hospital and have them trimmed. These guys are such wonderful athletes. Mr. Schmidt. Rouse him, kid. your step here, Clink. Guy Orton could get kicked right out through the ropes in our lap. There's a body scissors. You heard the grunt it brought out of Orton. For once, the crowd is on Orton's side. Break it up. That's one way of doing it. Chin lock on Orton. Reverse. Nicholas checking it for a choke. Chin lock posted. Head lock on Brother Schmidt. Guy Orton, you know, has a reputation for being able to kick higher than a ballet dancer. He can really kick high. Uh-oh, now we're going to start this business. We're slapping each other to make one another mad. Have to be broken up. Oh, this Schmidt, all he wants to do ever is win. He hates people, he hates referees, even himself. Drop kick. Come on, says Orton, get up. This Orton has a face that's absolutely incapable of expression, I think. Even when you talk to him in the dressing room. There was an arm lock, winged. Orton had to go on over with it. The head scissors and an arm lock. Orton pointing at the rope. Funny part of it is, he's not quite out from under him yet. Oh, that's always good. Look at Orton stick his foot up there and try and clip Hans with it. Hans moving out of there because Orton threatened to poke him in the stomach. And these two guys, Orton's 6'5½", and Hans at 6'3", gets stretched out across this ring. It's almost full. Uh-oh, there goes Schmidt pounding on that recent operation of Orton's. Look at him. Hey, hey, Junior. All a legal thing. I mean, he's... Schmidt's still hanging to his head scissors here. Well, it's a rough way to do it. Orton was standing up before his ears straightened up. The kid, for some reason or other, doesn't cauliflower. One of the few wrestlers in the business who hasn't got a great big old set of cast iron ears. got your young Jersey. Oh. Well, Herr Hans. Was ist los? Hans has found a guy here that likes to give it back. Bull Nelson. Boom. Oddly enough, both Schmidt and Orton tonight are wearing stitches from recent eyebrow cuts. Schmidt's got one with 2 stitches in it. Orton's chevron has 3 stripes on it. Both of them on the right eye. Watch your step, Flink. This is a wrist lock. Hey. 1. Look at Orton sit there and look at him for that. Head scissors. Oh, look at that knee. It's funny when you get a pair of guys together who are both more or less traditionally rough and rather uninhibited in their tactics. You can always find out which one the crowd dislikes the most because they immediately got on Orton's side here tonight. Low bridge there, Mr. Nicholas. Orton hanging close. He had to drop his head scissors. Look at that. Oh, no. Orton has Schmidt's feet caught here now in a leg scissors. And at the moment, it's Schmidt who's on the bad end of the deal. Orton's released his pressure now in an effort to try and get turned around here. Well, there's one you seldom have ever seen. Here's a double Nelson to the feet. Well, Orton's coming out piece at a time here. He's made it into a leg lock on Schmidt. Toe hold now. Front quarter Nelson on Orton. Flail. Reaching knuckle locks. Schmidt was after a double pickup. Made it. Get out of here, says Orton. He poked Schmidt right in the chin. He's got this open scissors on Schmidt. Schmidt trying for a shoulder stand. That's one way of getting a man loose. But he did use his fist. Now Orton's looking at Nicholas. I wouldn't want to be the referee in this match. Both of these guys are famous referee baiters. Orton came out of that exchange, I think, with the headlock. He did. Pit of the stomach as Orton went by. Flying mare. Another one. That's getting hit, brother. That's for sure. Uh-oh. Hey, fellas, you know, this could get rough now. Pile driver.
The winner of the second full, 14 minutes and 24 seconds with a pile driver, Bob Orton.
Well, that brings us around to the first real fall in this match that we've had. Maybe we better take sort of a breather here for a second. You know, Bob Orton's home is in Kansas City. It also happens to be my home, amongst other places in the world where I have lived, but I spent a good deal of my younger years in Kansas City. And so I was talking with Orton in the dressing room tonight, and he says, will you try and make people in Kansas City like me, huh? Well, I don't know. I'm not in the public relations business, and I told Bob, I'll see what I can do. So we now have a fall apiece here, one for Schmidt, which he won in a matter of seconds, and one for Bob Orton. It took him 14 minutes to win. We'll have to see what happens. This will be the deciding fall of the match. It's a 2 out of 3, 60-minute affair. Both of these guys want about 6 square acres of the other one. They're mad. So, now then, here we go. Well, here's start of a press on Orton. Orton trying to build up here anyway, Klink. Look out. Well. Head and shoulders forward. Uh-oh. Orton saw that one coming. As he came up over the mat, he was looking up for Schmidt. Oh, that's good. You'll have to cut it out, says Nicholas. That is not allowed. It, says Nicholas. We'll have to cut it out, Hans. Not by the hair. Uh-oh. Knee lift. Hey, fellas. 1, 2, 3. Oh, brother. Is screaming. The commissioners are screaming. They don't like the count. Going to have to get Orton out of here. He doesn't want to get out.
The winner of the third full with a body press, and the winner of the match, Hans Schmidt.
But that's the way it goes. Hans Schmidt has won from Bob Orton. This is Russ Davis speaking to you.